Hello YouTube, this is Kerry, and today I'm just going to give a very rough draft demo of the Hughes JVC ILA 360 projector, 300 series projector installed in my home. As you can kind of see, this is a bit of a rig, but I have it in my basement built on this shelf thingy. And that, yes, that is a dryer vent you're seeing kind of coming out of the side there. A little bit of my own invention. It vents the heat up into my cold air return of the furnace. It's great in the winter because this thing throws off a crap ton of heat. And so I might as well use it to help heat the house. As you can see, the unit is on, and you're seeing the infrared CRTs in there. I have it on a paused video at the moment. That is the lamp house all lit up there, and over here we have the high voltage power supply. This is a very nice unit in that this is the non-360. This would be like the 320, 340 series. The beautiful thing about this model is that those little pots in there are 10 turns each, so you can really get accurate with your G2 and focus on this model. I have the card cage pulled back, and the unit is so this whole unit here is kind of on a swivel, and I can pull it back like so, and what that does is it gives me access to go inside of here where the picture tubes are, and that is the 3 CRTs. Apologize about the poor camera work and poor lighting here. Not really set up as a studio at all. So I've been working on this all day today on New Year's Day, and got my hands on some brand new picture tubes and been working on installing them. It's a big job. Physical installation isn't that rough, but the configuration is unbelievably rough. Anyways, this projector is an RGB HV only. That's how it does high def, and right there I have my little HD Fury device powered with a USB plug, and that's HDMI feeding that, and it just breaks it out. It is 1080p. It does resolve 1080p. Yes, you can do 1080p over RGB HV. A lot of people think you can't. You definitely can. On this side, that's the other side of the lamp assembly there. That's the fan to cool the bulb. That's a 240 volt fan, and a whole bunch of fans back here to cool the card cage. And there's the main power supply, and it connects to the lines here with these 3 lugs. 240 volt single phase. I've got that just rigged up through a rather large extension cord here, and just plugged in basically to a dryer outlet in the house. And go take a look at some of the parts. There's a quick screenshot for you. You can see the room is fully lit. There's Dr. Phil for you. I'm running the bulb currently at about maybe a quarter of the power. It's a new bulb, so I mean, this thing's designed to light up a 60-foot screen. I'm lighting up about a 7-foot video there, so no need to crank it too hot. If I go much hotter than that, it's actually almost too bright to watch it, to be honest with you. Anyways, here's some of the more exotic parts of the unit. The light bulb itself is a xenon. This particular xenon is a 3,000 watt. This particular bulb gassed out on me, so I know it's safe to handle. It's not going to explode. The reflector unit is this monster thing here. It's just a big giant reflector dish, and that bulb and reflector would go into this lamp house assembly. You can see the size of the wires to run that. The bulb runs at about 28 volts DC, and at full power is over 110 amps. So it's a power-hungry beast. The xenon circuit is pretty simple. It's a very large power supply, just provides that. Jumps over here into this section of the bulb house where there's a high voltage pulse, about 50,000 volt pulse, starts the arc. Once the arc is started, then it's just pure raw current dump at that point. So to change the bulb in this is a bit of a job. Here's one of the CRTs. Very similar to the CRT you would find in a normal red, green, blue projector. This CRT, however, all of the CRTs in this are infrared. So the phosphor on the front of that actually produces an infrared picture of red and green and blue. 3 tubes, obviously. This guy, this is called a beam splitter, and it works along with this guy here, which is the ILA device. And the technology works something like this. The ILA sits about right here in front of the beam splitter, and the tube which produces the picture goes something like this. So the tube shines photons onto the back of the ILA. The ILA receives light from the light bulb through the top of here, shines down through the beam splitter. All of the light comes back and hits this mirror, and all of the light is then reflected back into the beam splitter, but only polarized light is allowed to pop out the output port, which is on the back here. And from there it goes to the projection lens and out to the screen. So lots and lots of green light would come down into this, or red light or blue light. There's 3 separate units, one for each color. And all of that light comes out here, hits this mirror, and all of the light comes back in. But only what's on this CRT gets transcoded onto this ILA and polarizes that red, green, or blue light, and if the light is polarized, is allowed to pass out the front. My particular model used to be a 360. Now it's kind of a Frankenstein. It's closer to a 370. The 370 is kind of the big brother. It's a pretty powerful unit, rated at 6,000 lumens, and it uses the bigger light bulb. All the rest of the electronics is the same. The 360 was more the budget model. It was a bright one, but it didn't have the resolution. I'm very fortunate that I have very, very good, basically brand new, never used picture tubes in there. They're the fast phosphor, so I was able to get my hands on some really good, high quality ones. The ILAs are set up as also cinema grade. And another crucial tool for setting this guy up is this guy here. This is the Minolta CS100 color chroma meter, and its job is for basically balancing out D6500 Kelvin. And I will do another video illustrating how to do some of that as well shortly. And probably the most exotic part that I own as part of my setup, which is crucial for my success with this, is this part right here. This is the JVC Auto Setup Tool camera unit. Normally that camera unit would be mounted right here. There's like a knockout panel, but it's been discovered that you don't really want to do that. The camera, as it stands, if it sits in there, it actually gets too hot, and if the camera gets too hot, it doesn't work correctly. So the best use of this, we've discovered, is to not have it inside the projector. Yeah, there's this. When you hook that up, it gives you a menu on a VT100 terminal. Now I just use an old PC and a monitor. I prefer the CRT monitor in this case because I can control the brightness and contrast and turn those way down so I can like barely see the text, because when you're doing shading you don't want any extraneous light getting into that camera. It really does kind of louse things up a bit. I have the tech remote and it's wired. There's also an infrared version of this remote, but I prefer the wired one, especially when doing technical work, because you know how infrared remotes are. Sometimes they register, sometimes they don't, and something like this you definitely want to know it got it. So my next video will I'll do an actual shading demonstration. Shading is a pretty complicated procedure, but and as far as I can see, no one has documented it on YouTube, so I guess I'll be the first to do that. But look for more videos. I'll have some more stuff coming out pretty soon, and you can see that's serious bright indeed, and that's running about 1/4 of the power right now. Thanks much.